So who are your early big freaks on your group?
Oh man, I feel like I got several. Start off with Elijah Roberts, man. He's been awesome. Been a leader for the group, just having constant energy, making plays, whether it be all across the line. Really, just really pleased with how he's came out to camp, a little bigger, a little stronger, and excited to see what he do. We added Harrison-Hunte. He's very athletic, twitchy. He's everything you want your 3 technique to be. So we're really excited about him. He's a guy that can find the football, add some pass rush ability to what we're doing, and just really excited to get a chance to work with him. And Big Tank. Tank is, he's just one of them guys that's hard to move. He's long, he's athletic. Following spring ball, he kind of knows what we expect and how we practice now. And we're big and athletic up front, and we're excited about that. Then there's several other guys. I'm probably not gonna name everybody, but I think Cam is doing a good job. Cam has kind of switched over to the field, and he's a guy that played a bunch of ball for us last year. He's doing a good job. So you feel like your rotation is a little bit stronger there at end. Been really happy with Jonathan Jefferson. I always call him Uno. So he's a guy that you can roll in. He's been awesome. I mean, a guy that's played at Georgia and just made our group better, man. He's smart. He comes to work every day. Low maintenance, just does his job, and you don't even know he's out there. Probably missing some more. Corey, obviously, a guy who's played, helped us win a championship, and he's back. And a year in the defense. I think he's more comfortable. I think he's more confident, and I'm excited to see what he do. Who else am I missing? Obviously, Mike Lockhart. He's a guy that just excited to have him. A guy that started at West Virginia. We got some battles going on. He's a guy that can find the ball. He's big and athletic. And my job is just not to mess him up. My job is just not to mess him up. So I'm really excited about the group. Blake, Blake Boris he's helped us, man. He's a guy that loves to practice. He just brings his lunch pail to work, and he just works. So, you need big bodies as you go into a bigger league. And these guys are competitive. They lift each other up, and we're becoming a team. We're going through that process right now.
You lost a couple of, when you look at the interior, you lost some very productive guys in Jordan, Chapman. But as you said, you're deeper. You brought in all these transfers. Does that change what you and Coach Simons can ask of the defensive tackles by having that much depth?
No, I think Coach has a system that's in place, and these guys just have to buy into what we're doing, and they're going to have success. We have big athletic guys, but the system is the system. And we want to put those guys in place to where they can make plays and use their God-given ability. So we're excited. I mean, we have a formula that works. We can show them tape. Hey, this is why we do it this way. We try to ask the guys to make sure that they're not evaluating, but more so trusting us, and that belief is strong so that ultimately we can push them towards doing something that they can't do by themselves.
Were Jared or Jahfari guys that you recruited at all in high school or knew of before you brought them in?
No. I tell you what helped us with those guys was more so the success, or just the experience of the guys. And Jordan Miller, obviously he helped out, and then Elijah Roberts. Those guys had success. I was able to throw him some tape of Elijah, and he was like, man, he wasn't doing this at Miami. So we had proof that, man, okay, something good was happening here. The culture, obviously, players gonna get together and kind of speak on the culture. Because as the coach, you can sell, you can, sell the program. But when players get around each other, they're gonna trust each other. So to get the feedback that they got from the players, that kind of helped us in our process of making them opponents.
And what do you kind of notice about these guys? Obviously, you saw what Jordan and Elijah were able to do last year. The excitement that you guys seem to have for Jahfari and for Jared. Like, where do you feel like that comes from, and what you think they could do?
Well, I think it's awesome that they have ACC experience. They're guys that have played in P5, P4, whatever we have right now, football, and they're big and athletic. They're talented guys. And, I think sometimes you get that restart, you hit that reset button, you get a chance to refocus, recommit, and, they certainly have that platform here to showcase their skills. So we're excited about them. They certainly are upgrades, and we're excited about them, and we want to help them maximize the last season of their year.
When you tried to bring Jared and Jahfari, how much was the sales pitch was from you, and how much did you lean on Miller and Elijah, since they had built-in relationships already?
I'd be a fool if I didn't, lean on those guys. Elijah was awesome in the process, and I was myself. I went down, got a chance to see him, and just talked ball, just talked about, hey, what are you looking for, and wanted to make sure that what he was looking for, we could provide that for him, and seemed like he came in, it was a match. It was a match. He wanted to play that 3 technique position. Jahfari wanted to play on the edge, and it just kind of matched that we had seniors at those positions, and we needed to continue to get better, and we did, and I'm just excited to see how it all plays out.
With Elijah deciding to come back, he said it really wasn't too much of a decision for him. It was just a matter of kind of working it all out. But how much of this year is a potential for him to just truly leave like a big legacy here? Does he have that kind of a mindset?
Yeah, I love the way he works. I love the way, you feel the guy in practice every single day. He gives his all. I mean, he's going balls to the wall, and no job is too big for him. He's working with the freshmen. He's working with whoever, and you love that when you got a guy with a lion heart. That's a big deal. I just want him to just be him, because I think that's going to be good enough when we get into playing. The games that we play. I think it's a bigger platform for him to showcase his ability, and he's excited, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. Like, he just feels like there's more to be done. And when you got one of your best players who's trying to find ways to get better, that's contagious to everybody else, because he's showing you how to work.
How do you balance, obviously, wanting them to push to be the starter and to be the first guy out there, but also the understanding that you're going to rotate 2, 3 deep even?
Yeah, rotation is huge, specifically for those big guys. When the big guys get the huffing and puffing, that's when the injuries, that's when the MAs happen, and we just want to keep those guys fresh. So they know that, in that core, I would say core 6, you have to keep those big guys rolling. It's a long season. There's a core 6. Maybe in a game you're playing 5, maybe 6. It just depends on how strong the trust is with those guys. But I think they know that everybody's going to have a role, and it's everybody's job to master that role. But, I think competition is good. I don't want anybody to be complacent. I want everybody to be on edge, and I think it pulls out the best in all of them.
It's not all about the preseason lists or things like that, but I remember last year the defensive line, particularly Elijah Roberts, kind of felt a little slighted at the end of the year maybe. Mm-hmm. We saw that performance in the AAC championship game. Do you feel that chip on the shoulder just grew a little bit without any preseason?
Yeah, I think he has goals that he wants to get accomplished, and he's a very motivated young man. So, I don't think he needs any of that. He loves the game, and I think he's on that quest to constantly always be the best version of him. And when you have that, you just have an expectation that something great's going to happen. He speaks what he wants in the atmosphere, and then he goes and backs it up with how hard he works. So I'm excited to see what he does, and I'm excited to see what this group does.
The team adds size and strength on the D-line and the O-line this offseason. Mm-hmm. Do you notice anything different about the competition between those two groups from last year?
It's iron sharpen iron. Coach Justice does a great job with those guys. So it's very competitive. It's very competitive. We feel like we're the alphas. We do, but they might feel like they're the alphas. And then what happens is you do this all camp, and then you get a chance to, once the season starts, you can go beat up on somebody else. So it's a process. We go at it, but we're very competitive, very respectful of each other, but we go after it, and I think that's helping us form good habits, that hopefully that's helping them form good habits.
Coach Simons was talking about Cam Robertson has put on some size. How much bigger is he, and how much more can you and Coach Dunham ask of him this year?
Yeah, so I think he came in around like 230. I think he's like 250-something now. Got good weight. We just expect him to play. When he goes in the game, we don't want it to be a drop-off. We want him out there not trying to run the defense, but actually make plays and be consistent in that. And I think, that's certainly going to be a big, big opportunity for him to find that football over and over and over again. So we're excited. He's been consistent. He comes out here, doesn't bust calls. He wins one-on-ones. He gives great effort. Really smart kid. He can play to the field or to the boundary. And, that's a luxury that he gives us.
On the interior, how much can guys shift between nose and DT? Do you want them to, or do you kind of want them want guys that are one spot or the other?
I think the more you know, and the more you can do, the more valuable you are. So, we always, double train those guys to where they can do both. But they're in the defense. There's certain, you want guys to do certain things because that's what their skill set says. But we always train because you never know what can happen during the season. So both guys should be able to play either or, and that just gives you flexibility.